peace and whole land. We wise and true man stand, sipping from this cupful cup of peace. Not one shall hurt, not one. Your people shall not enter this whole land. We wise and a true man stand, sipping from the cup of peace. You chant down no Babylon. You chant down no Babylon. You chant down no Babylon. Chant down no Babylon. Give thanks and praise. Give thanks and praise. Give thanks and praise. You give thanks and praise to the whole man of creation. Chant down no Babylon. Chant down no Babylon. You chant down no Babylon. Chant down no Babylon. Give thanks and praise. Give thanks and praise. Give thanks and praise. Give thanks and praise to the whole man of creation. Hi, 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 hi. So big shall not enter this whole land. Where wise and stand away from Africa, with the intention to steal our culture. The good father passed by and said, humble yourself, my children. Humble yourself, my little one. Humble yourself. Oh, my brother, E.T. Wadada.
Metamorphosis. Metamorphosis. December. '21st of December. And the world has ended. Metamorphosis, new beginning, transformation, new world view, world ending. We are still on the plantation. A global plantation. Technological slavery. Locked into cells. Phones. Cell phones. Metamorphosis. Dynastylin greetings, salutations. Hail to all the ones who are listening. Hail to the ones who are looking on, who are viewing through the cyberspace sphere. Hail to the people directly here on the ground in Port Antonio, to the adjoining parishes, St. Thomas and St. Mary, extending down the coast, St. Trelawney, crossing over the mountains, touching up even places like Clarendon and St. Catherine. So Stylz FM and the Metamorphosis extending itself across the island of Jamaica. And of course, we hail the people in cyberspace. This is a global village. But it's a global plantation in the reality, in terms of the economics and the military. So we hail all those out there in that plantation. Big one in North America, over there in the UK, Africa, Australia, all the places of the earth who are within shot of Stylz FM. Yeah, this is a program that deals with information that can create transformation. And the transformation is about the upliftment, the fundamental force and source that we work to uplift is the I. And once we're able to resurrect and uplift the I, then the family will come together. The gender level struggle will be reduced somewhat once each I becomes fully conscious of itself, whether it's male or female. And of course, in the previous program, we were blessed with the presence of a female that created a lot of thorough energy and vibrations. And it's important that we get these sparks that we can overstand ourselves in relation, because the whole existence is about relation. Now, the island here is approaching the thing called Christmas. And when I was a youth, I usually marry up myself, ready and prepare for Christmas. And in Christmas, now it was all about shibum and clappers. I don't know if some people know what shibum is, you know. Maybe I've gone too far, but clappers, you know, and dynamite. Not dynamite, no. Thunderbolt. We use thunderbolt. And it used to come in like dynamite. Yeah, the giant one, them, you know. And starlight and picking up in the sky and all kind of picnic behavior and ice cream and food. And we always, most of us were eagerly awaiting the arrival of Santa. And Santa was this imagery that was almost in the same imagery of the other benefactor of December, which is Jesus. So in that early stage, you know, we were bombarded really with Santa and with Jesus. And on ourselves, within ourselves now, within the plantation that we are on, give these images a sort of superiority over I and I. Now you see, after all of that time, in this time now when I approach Christmas, this 10th time of the year, somehow all that celebratory feeling has just gone, you know. And what replaces it is really more anger and vexation, because I more think of what happened in 1831, in that Christmas. And that Christmas was a Christmas that forced the enslaved people to rise up against the plantation owners by striking, refusing to work. And that, of course, was led by a man who is now considered our national hero. So when I look at Christmas, I look at a time when we must reflect on our processes of liberation. How far have we advanced since Sam Sharp? How far have we advanced through all of these various Christmases since that Christmas revolution? How much have we upgraded ourselves as a people at this time of the year? Do we have any banks that we can go to and get specific loans as black people at this time? Or do we always engage in that spending process? So if we examine ourselves maybe differently within this context of Christmas and the heroes that have been presented to us. So within the line of the heroes, we have a hero like Santa, we have a hero like Jesus, we have a hero like Superman. Yeah? We have all of these heroes. The thing about all these heroes, none of them look like us. None of these heroes look like I and I, who make up the foundation of this plantation society. So we have to stop again and check. What is it and who is it we are celebrating at this point in time that we call Christmas? But something more at the ground now. And this is really distressing. Years ago now, even Jaco, as a man there, so I never used to watch the foreign exchange rate. I just said, no matter what is in here, I have to find it, I have to deal with it. But you see, since the thing past 90, yeah, it's suddenly something dawning upon I know. And what is dawning is that there's a sort of quietness about the slide. Previously, there's always an uprising, boy, the dollar slide, how can we stop the slide? And there's always this national thing. All of a sudden now, the thing just moving, and it just gliding, and it reached like 93. So what it really means, people in the world, is that we are 0.7 something away from the Jamaican dollar officially valuing 1 US cent. I wonder if the people know what that means. What it means for the cost of goods here in Jamaica. Because the cost of goods here are tied into the American dollar. So guess what catch me now? I go a mile shopping in my area, a container, I say, give me a condensed milk. The man say, $2. So I say, you hear what I say? I say, give me a condensed milk. He say, $2 for that. And stern, And I realize that something happened. I'm say, you know something? I go in the next shop. So I go in the shop. I say, 190, I say, wow. Wow. This is a condensed milk now, And you see, when I check for your bread, and them say $2.50 for a loaf, I'm say, $500 now is just a bread and a milk. Right here in Jamaica. And I said to myself, this thing getting crucial, And the things that are raising is like they're being raised without any sort of resistance. Like nobody can resist. And the people say either buy it or left it. Them say, don't even look upon it if you don't buy it. So we're in a situation now where we're seriously concerned about the slide of the dollar. And it's linked up now to the decline in how we have to think morally. Because it looks like the more the dollar go down now, it's the more a man have to try scourge and scrimp and scrape. That him start bruise and start take now. That is him start thief. So I am seriously concerned about this movement, and there's no attempt by those who control the plantation to really speak to it. It's in the early 80s, when I know that this place had power, certain people, the dollar was about 6 to 1 them time, and it was a great uproar, and moved to 7, 8, and a man named Butch Stewart just come in, and just give the bank like 5 billion, something like that, and the money just stop slide. And I say, wait, the powers in this country here are very different, and it's some individual people seem to control the wealth in the society. So I appeal to these people now who want the dollar reverse. Yeah, who want an attempt to reverse this slide. Because everything that we pay for now is rising. And we still need everything. So at what point are you going to bust? Yeah, and then man will start rush supermarket. Hey, the people who are governing, I'm saying the state and the church specifically, the two powers that run this plantation ever since, take heed. I know who are the leaders of the church and the state. It's some people who call ministers, you know. Ministers of government and ministers of the state. Ministers of religion. It's ministers. It's the ministers must begin to administer to the thing properly now, you know. These ministers of religion and these ministers of the government. It's one set of people, you know, my people. So I go look upon the thing different. Rather than just run up and down in this Christmas and talk about, you know, buy things and make hold on to our money. Make us strike a different way. Make us hold our money. And prepare for the winter of discontent in January. When the illusion of Christmas is gone. And we'll find out that the man who drive the bus now want an extra fear. And everything becomes real. Metamorphosis, exploring. Yeah, I hope you're all waking up. This is the Metamorphosis, and I'm your host, Dr. Iman Blak, taking you through the changes, the paces, yes, arriving at a new place in the whole thought process. You know, I'm here on this island of injustice and plenty sunshine, and thinking about the calendar year closing, now that the world has ended, according to the Mayan calendar, we shall now begin to move on the Blak calendar. This is year 1. It's how it going now. Yeah, man, we can start the calendar right now. This is year 1. And next time, we'll say year 2. We'll begin to build our own time frame. But reflecting on this island now, and where it really reach in this 50th year of its political independence, I am convinced now. Because I say I'm on dependence base here now 3 decades consistently. Yeah. Living, loving, and learning about this island and its jurisdiction within this plantation in this part of the Antilles. And in its political evolution from 1962 to the present, the same 50-year period, what is very distressing and most alarming that nobody seems to pay any attention to nor make any commentary about is the positions that both political parties have taken. They have both shared a particular view that is destructive, but they both share it and the entire society seems to agree with it. What is that? I have never heard any political representative or leader in this country, this is from any party, from 1962 onwards, ever say, I put Jamaica first and my party second. No, if anybody knows of that, you could always provide the information because we're trying to expand our know-how and our sensibilities. So I am saying, which politician has ever declared that he or she puts Jamaica first and put his party second? For 50 years I've been hearing party first. Party first. No, that ideology simply means that there is no nation called Jamaica. There is no nation. The party seems to replace the nation. So we have these two political nations here. But so we don't have this one nation called Jamaica. And what I'm saying, this one nation Jamaica seems to only come together when we engage into sports. All of a sudden now everybody say Jamaica. And we're saying Jamaica first. And we try to tell the athletes now that they must put country first. But the people who lead from the political and the civil areas, they do not take the same message that the athletes must live by. They force the athletes to think of country first, even country over club, within certain games and certain sports. But the politicians are free to say party first. So what do we expect now as citizens? How can we get proper governance from either party? Because when anyone goes into power, they're not in there for Jamaica. So it's an old ideology. It requires a revolutionary change. We need to hear the leaders beginning to declare that it is Jamaica first. We like to draw references to the United States. When the Democrats and Republicans are fighting and killing each other to get into the White House, once they get there, it's all about America. And these men, even when they're speaking from the party level, they still put America first. I can't remember or even think of an American politician who would put the Republican Party ahead of the United States. That simply is unheard of. But here we are in our little backward self, thinking that we are so advanced. And the leadership, the people who are vying for leaders and the people who actually become leaders, end up stating publicly on these platforms that they put party first. And the country called Jamaica comes second. So that is part of the foundation of the split. Why this nation cannot come together. Why we only see flickers of a nation during our sporting events. When the Reggae Boys got to France in 1998, we got a glimpse of what a nation could look like. But that was only a glimpse. Because once we left the world of sports and returned to the political and the civil society, we're back to the leaders who are seeing segments. This mentality is trained. I don't think the people who become leaders are born with that type of mentality. And I'm saying, so where does the training take place? How do they move off the plantation? Some of them were slaves. Some are coming from the slave class. And they rise through the society and they become political leaders. So we're saying, now, what type of training, and where were these people trained, that in the long run, they end up speaking not of Jamaica, but of their parties? A lot of these people, if you buck up in the streets, before they become political, they speak with this great passion about Jamaica, land we love. They speak with this great patriotism about this island. But somehow as they begin to enter the political arena, the concept of the island seems to go into the back. And what comes forward is the concept of the party. No, this is a destructive ideology, I'm saying, in Jamaica. To keep on thinking that party must come first. But to the training ground is in the education system. And I'm going to give you a sketch as to how I arrive at this conclusion. Most of us who are listening or who are on the island who understand Jamaican education system, when we start at the basic school and at the prep and primary schools, we have to play sports. And in these schools, youths are usually put in houses. And so we have house competitions. And the houses compete, and it gives us the youth a certain amount of status in this class, and so on and so forth. But the competition is to bring out the best athletes who are going to represent the school. That is the purpose now of these house competitions. To find the talent in the school that to represent the school. So the school is the most important thing, not the class. So from high school, not the house that you're in is important, it is the school. So when you're in high school, you don't think about the house as the most important thing. You think about the school. Yes, when house sports day come, you try to do your best for your house to win, but the purpose of those house games is really to find the talent. So what I'm saying to the ones now, in the Jamaican scenario, at the high school level, the youths there are thinking about their school first and the house second. That's what's going on. Because when push comes to the shove, it's for them school against the next school. Now, you see when they leave that secondary level and they go to tertiary and they enter a place like Mona, University of the West Indies, a change takes place there in our youths, a serious change. I'm speaking out of experience because I spent more than 10 years on that campus, both as a grad student and as a lecturer. And when these youths leave our high school systems, very innocent, very competitive, when they get into the University of West Indies, particularly Mona, they are now put into some halls. Now, the halls may look similar to the houses, but it is a far, far different reality. These halls are the halls that are going to take our youths and train them how to think about hall first. The training of hall first is the seeds that lead to thinking about party first. Yeah, one of them look into it carefully. There is a methodology to maintaining this plantation. And if we want to transform the plantation, we need to look at the methods that are used to maintain it. And the education system is part of the tool to maintain the plantocracy that we have sort of evolved into since emancipation. So when a youth is at the university and they put him in one of the halls, for example, there are about 5 halls there. The dominant ones are like Taylor and Chancellor and Nettleford and so on. When these youths go into these halls, it is out of these halls now that the political parties look for candidates. Out of these halls now come student leaders, guild presidents, future politicians who often make the transition now from the UD into the youth arms of the political parties. So the training of thinking about hall first, rather than the university, becomes embedded in our youths. Yeah, a youth will defend him hall to the death, especially in competition, but he will not give that same amount of commitment to the university. Yeah, it's a very serious reality. And that reality is transformed into our political arena, where these same trained minds enter the political arena and they're unable to see Jamaica first. Until our political leaders and business persons can see, just the same way our athletes look and see Jamaica first, we'll always be struggling within the concept of divide and rule. Metamorphosis, Stylz FM.
We don't need, no, we don't need no more trouble, no more trouble. We don't need no more trouble.
Yeah, Metamorphosis in December 21 to be precise, documenting this one in time because the Mayan calendar is what was driving a lot of persons into a state of frenzy that the world will come to a close on December 21. I was saying last week, but I was a bit premature and still premature, guys, still don't happen yet. But what we can do, we can use it in a psychological way as a new beginning in our way of thinking. Yes, an opportunity to reject a lot of the baggage that we've been carrying for the last 2,000 years. Give thanks to the Mayans that we have a chance to reject things and earth will continue. So we can let go certain ideas, and still go and go through in body and mind and spirit in time. There's an opportunity to see that, look, things that are said can also be undone. Yeah, nothing is really set in cement. So we use our thoughts and we use our mind, we use our spirit, use the energies of the memories that we carry to take us into a better space. So, Metamorphosis now, we're going to look into I-word sound a little bit, continue to look at the identity. My brethren went to Australia and broke up on what is called the Aborigines. These are black people who story insists that they are the first human beings on the entire earth. Yes, that means that you have people who are not into this whole Western concept of life beginning in Africa and everything in the garden. Them man, they are the first human beings on this earth. And they are all the way in what we call Australia, in the Pacific Island Oceans. So, we have to open our consciousness to other black people who may not be Africans, but they are black people, which is the commonality that we try to insist on within the context of identity. I want to also look at power of word through commandments. What really is a commandment? And what is the first commandment given to black people through our religious training? And how effective has that commandment been on our minds? Yes, well, we talk about commandments. What is the first commandment given to us through our religious texts? How many of us can say it? And how many of us understand what we have given up our wills under within that first commandment? It's about the people in the Christian world. Yeah? It's about the laws of Moses. I want to reflect on what did Moses give unto this people as the first commandment. So it doesn't really matter about the second and the third and the fourth one right now. We want to look at the very first one and the impact it has been having on the lives of black people. Then, of course, we get into African world affairs, and I want to look at the God called Thoth, Thoth, the God of writing. Because where does writing come from? And where does thought come from? The Africans have their version. The Egyptians speak about the God of writing, the God of intelligence. So we're going to compare the commandment, that first commandment, and the whole notion of Thoth, Thoth. The word is not very far from thought. Yes, the argument is that Thoth is the inventor of mathematics and geometry. So we have to reconsider, reconfigure our own mythologies. I want my listeners to also begin to look into the Osirian myth, Osirian, Osiris. That is a myth that will take us into ourselves and out of the Adam and Eve mythology. It is the myth of Osiris. This is what is going to be the theme to take us through 2013. Reconnecting to the mythologies of black people and releasing ourselves from the myths of Europe. Because out of the mythology, you get power or you become disempowered. So the news goes on, of course, Afrocentric views and news, and North Korea now has gone back onto the front page because them fire a rocket and the rest of the world get upset again, and them know forget America to pay attention, When it's not them, it's Iran. I think the both of them working in tandem, and they was pushing buttons and creating disturbance. And of course, Israel and the UK and the European Union and everybody lining up. 2013 going to be very serious. Yeah, 2012 is tough, but I think we'll get into a more serious year. And within the realm of sports, the time has come now to look at what high school really represents. Because the debate now going on at the schools are behaving like clubs, and maybe it's time that we look at it in its reality and recognize that the definition of school has changed from the 1930s when the British were here to 2012, where it's not just about the 3 R's, reading, writing, and arithmetic. It's now about talent and exposure and development of economic strength. Alpha and Omega continue to look at how Jesus Christ has interrupted black people's life, how he has usurped the head and let the black man, has actually made the black man impotent. Yes, and has given more power to the woman that she really can now manage. And And of course, Rastafari and the movement of Jah people continues. And we continue to explore ourselves through our music. Yes, catch a Blak, I hear you. All over the world, Black people think country first. It's just right here, so alone. Just right here, so alone. Something wrong, something wrong. But we're going to fix it.
Stylz FM.
Stylz FM 96.1.
Yes, Jamaica.
No sun will shine in my gated day. The high yellow moon won't come out to play. Darkness has covered my life and has changed my day into night. Nowhere is this love to be found. Won't someone tell me 'cause I must be somewhere to be found here. Instead of a concrete jungle, where the living is hardest. Concrete jungle. Oh man, you've got to do your best, yeah. No chains around my feet, but I'm not free. I know I am bound here in captivity. And I never known happiness. And I never known sweet caress. Still, I'd be always laughing like a clown. Won't someone help me 'cause I've got to pick myself from off the ground. In this your concrete jungle, I say, what do you got for me now? Concrete jungle.
Yeah, it's a tough place to live. This rock that we're on called Jamaica. But it ain't got no winter. Yeah, no winter. And we have the night. Gives us a chance to think.
Stylz FM.
I say that life must be somewhere to be found. Yeah, yeah. Instead of a concrete jungle,
Yes, Metamorphosis. Moving into I-word, sound and power. And in this segment, we use the tools available to I and I to explore the depth of the universe that is internal. So we explore the internal universe, which is boundless. So making I know that I is at the center of a boundless universe. Forget about the universe on the outside. That could just be a reflection of what is inside. So it's work on the internal. Now, scripture, identity. It says, in the beginning. That's a very important line for the mind to exercise with, you know. What does it mean to say in the beginning? Does it mean that there was nothing before? What does in the beginning mean? And can there be a point when there is no time? So when we talk about in the beginning, there was the word. And then we say in the beginning God created. How did the beginning really go? So in the beginning was the word. All right, let's work with that. What was before the word? And I'm saying before the word, there was thought. Yeah, thought. Before the word. What did I say? In the beginning was the word. And I'm saying what was before the word? What preceded the word? I'm saying it's thought. We can go a little further. Yeah. What is it that really precedes thought? You know, you might find yourself journeying further, you know, but the journey is taking you further inside of yourself. Because now come out, you know. It's an internal movement. So when you move beyond thought, within, you really just, everybody in it look at the same thing, you know. But what the same thing is? What the thing is that same thing that everybody looking at, but yet it is so different. And it's all within. Yeah, music. Yes. Yeah, this is what is within.
Every man come and join this exaltation. Exalt Jah, I say, exalt Jah, I say. He sendeth blessings for the meek. Exalt Jah, I say, exalt Jah, I say. Holy make it rich in spirit. Exalt Jah, I say, exalt Jah, I say. He sendeth blessings for the meek. Exalt Jah, I say, exalt Jah, I say. Holy make it rich in spirit. As I research my ancient history, I remember what my forefathers told me.
Yeah, no, I'm hoping the ones and ones really trying to find that point. And you see, if you move beyond thought, you begin to see something what you hear the music speaking about. Yeah, a center. Some people call it God. Rastaman call it Jah. And Iman say that Jah is the I within.
He sent the blessings for the meek. Exalt Jah, I say, exalt Jah, I say. The poor he make it rich in spirit. Exalt Jah, I say, exalt Jah, I say. He sent his blessings for the meek. Exalt Jah, I say, exalt Jah, I say. The poor he make it rich in spirit. As I reread the book of history, I read Psalm 68, the Psalms of glory. Oh yeah, it says, let Jah arise now that the enemies are scattered. Let Jah arise now that the enemies are scattered. All you flee before Jah that hate him. Glorious things I read he has done for mankind. So in his exaltation, let us chant as a nation. Let the sun now exalt Jah, I say, exalt Jah, I say. He sent the blessings for the meek. Exalt Jah, I say, exalt Jah, I say. The poor he make it rich in spirit.
Alright, so we're journeying within I word, sound and power, heading to the center of consciousness, the center of being, because we're going beyond word and we're going beyond thought, and we're going into the source of thought. Virgin just drop in out of what I'm thinking name? What I'm thinking name we go on Thursday night? You just drop in out of the group. Yes. Yeah, we have Lepke here passing through the studios and Metamorphosis and thing. And of course, think about where we're moving to. Because once we go beyond word and thought, we have to allow our imaginations now to come to work, you know. Because we're getting into the depths of our own being. We have to begin to turn on different instruments now to see further, you know. Yeah, it's like a journey in space. Yeah, because we're really traveling in space and time, you know. This time we go within now, we have to use the pineal gland as a head point. And that's like the flashlight. Yeah, that's the first eye. Yeah, we turn on the original eye. Yeah. I turn on the original eye and look that we can see where we're going in time and space. And as we move towards ourself, because I say at the very center of all of this movement is yourself, you know. Yeah, man, the self in its glory at the center of the universe, within. Anytime you come to that, you see the outside world, it's easy to manipulate. Yeah, man, it's easy to exercise and your willpower and the forces of nature and get things moving in a constructive way. But we're disconnected. But hear about the word now. They give us a book. And because the word is so powerful, they give us a book. And in this book they say, you know, are the words of God. Serious thing now, you know. And we have been given this notion of God as this creator who was there in the beginning. No, mind that creator is the eye, you know. God, that would be a serious thing, you know. Anyway, you work on that a little more. But to continue now, the whole notion of the self and the whole notion of the words of God. You see, the ancient Africans had a god of words. Yeah, the Africans, the Egyptians had a god of writing, you know. They had a god for the invention of words. Now, we have been disconnected from that God, you know. That's why we're holding on to the God of Abraham. Thinking says the God of Abraham has given us these words. And we have gods who are responsible for the invention of writing, for the invention of words. So you don't think we should make an effort to connect to the God of writing and the God of words. And you see what that God name? When you spell the word, the name of that God, you know, it's not very far from thought. It's Thoth. And they say it's thought. But let us, for us argument's say yes, but this is the God of thought. Metamorphosis. Yeah.
Too much things are going on. Yes. What man can say they've seen the face of Jah? No man. What man can say that Jah is not alive? No man. What man can say that Jah is not the guiding light? No man. For Jah is the unseen that dwells within I and I. Why? Oh boy. The Lord is my light and my salvation. So in asking these questions I shall not fear, no. I know while asking these questions war shall rise up against me. But in Jah I put my trust, I'm confident He'll protect me. So I'm asking every man, what man can say they've seen the face of Jah? What man can say that Jah is not alive? What man can say that Jah is not the guiding light? For Jah is the unseen that dwells within.
So a little bit about that now. Now that we realize now that there is an inventor, a creator of the spoken and written word. This is long before Europe even exists. And this inventor, according to the most ancient African cultures, is Thoth. Thoth was also considered to be a moon god. And Thoth plays a very important role in the Osiris legend. All of these things we have to begin to reconstruct. And as we leave Mary, Joseph, and Jesus up on the wayside, we reconstruct Osiris, Horus, and Isis. And we understand the importance of Thoth. And we understand the importance of our African cosmogony. So Thoth was considered also to be the measurer of the earth, the counter of the stars, the keeper and recorder of all knowledge. So you see, anyhow we start locking the Thoth, you can see the door that will be opened. Thoth also had a wife, because the Africans weren't into this man thing. All the gods had their wives. Yeah, man. So the wife of Thoth was Mat. And Mat was all about truth. You see, this is where we lose our way, you know. This is where we have lost our way, in the mythologies. And we've been confused. And we've taken Greek mythology and Roman mythology as our reality. We have to disconnect and what they call just Lego. Yeah? Just Lego some of those things and begin to reconstruct ourselves in this new world. Can you remember the world done yesterday, you know? The world done yesterday, so we are going to restart the world. Well, remember, the world done from Australia first, you know, because so the new day start. Right? So we can watch the world end on TV as it comes across. Boy, the man them halfway. Metamorphosis, imploring the listeners to begin to explore Thoth, Thoth, the inventor of writing, the god of writing, justice, the counter of the stars, way before the invention of Adam and Eve and Abraham and Moses and these other characters of Jimmy's life. Stylz FM, Metamorphosis.
Let them answer to Jah for every word that proceeded out of their mouth. Oh yeah, Jah. Let them talk, let them talk. Let them say what they want to say. Let Eden talk, let them talk. Jah will make a brighter day. Yeah. Let them talk, let them talk. Let them say what they want to say. Let Eden talk, let them talk. Jah will make a brighter day. Yeah. You tell them the truth, but still they don't believe you. You show them what is real, still they say what they feel. Yeah. Hypocrites and parasites, I'm talking about the scorpions of the earth. Yeah. We are the sufferers of the earth. To them nothing we are word, yeah. Let them talk, let them talk. Let them say what they want to say. Let Eden talk, let them talk. Jah will make a brighter day. Yeah. Let them talk, let them talk. Let them say what they want to say. Let Eden talk, let them talk. Jah will make a brighter day. Yeah. You live and let them be, but still they talk of you falsely. Try to establish the peace, but in war they increase. Stand aside, bless the children of Jah, and watch the wonders of the Lord. Yeah. Fight war with the wicked no more, for in fire shall they burn. Let them talk, Jah. Let them say what they want to say. Let the eagle talk. Jah will make a brother die.
Yes, a few more words on Thoth now. Thoth is considered to be self-begotten, you know. Yes, self-begotten and self-produced. You imagine that now? That means nobody no create Thoth, you know. Thoth always existed. That is a concept, you know. That is a knowledge that the Africans held within themselves. These things were applied to the gods and the goddesses that were revered. So it's without his words, the gods would not exist. Yeah, without the words that were created by Thoth, even the very gods would not exist. So when we talk about self-begotten, This language that the Roman Catholic Church borrow to talk about Father, only begotten Son, and all that type of talk. You know, remember that talk? It's all coming out of ancient culture. So we're going to keep that close to our meditation. And when you get a chance, look at some of the pictures of Tot. Some of the images of a man with a baboon head. And sometimes with a moon that makes up the head. Symbols of the Ankh. Well, let us reconnect in terms of identity. Because this segment looks at identity, black identity, African identity, and the whole notion of the truth. Is there a black truth? Is there a black truth? Or is truth absolute? Yeah, is there an absolute truth, or is the truth relative according to the situation and the society and the culture? But the item thing, is there any one truth? And if there's no absolute truth, then how can there be an absolute right? Or an absolute good? Or an absolute absolute? Relativity. That's what Einstein spoke about. Everything is relative, even the truth. But we want to find the black truth that is relative to black people. Yeah, Europeans have theirs. Let us recover ours. Yeah, moving into Africa and the world affairs and our story. I wonder what it's like in Africa to have Christmas. I wonder how the Africans on the continent celebrate this Christmas thing. I wonder if them see any Santa coming through from, imagine you live out in the Congo where it's blazing hot. You really can't tell the youth a man going to come on a reindeer? I just read an article say it's mushroom, the man them there smoke and a drink, you know. But them say Santa flying on a reindeer, you know. It's some stuff. So I wonder if the Africans now, how do they really celebrate this birth of their savior? Because that is really the idea now, you know. It's not just about the gift giver, you know. It's about the birth of their savior. The person who's going to come into the world to save the world from its sins. And in the saving, it seems as if the black people need the greatest amount of saving. They want money too, even before we save. Anyway. So this saving now, this salvation that we are searching for, we supposed to honor the Savior at the end of this, another couple of days. And the story now comes again out of the book. And we have been socialized to think that this book called the Bible is the book of truth. Now, some of you may want to agree, some may not want to agree. Is the Bible the book of truth? And as I asked and I raised earlier, is truth absolute? Or is truth relative? And whose truth? Yeah, we could look into this thing now, you know, this book that we call the book of truth, that you must even ask a question about it. And that it was written by inspired men. What is it to be inspired? Because I was on the bus with an inspired man come in and try to preach to me. He was very inspired. I could smell the inspiration on him. You know, so we query the whole notion of being inspired. And what is it that prevent my virgin right here to get up tomorrow morning and tell me, say, you got a message. And the message is that on December 21st, the world going to finish. And you ask him how him say he was inspired. So the men who wrote this King James version, it has been driven into our brains that these men are inspired and that they have been inspired by God. And so their words now become inspirations that we must not question. That is absolute truth. So we kind of get fearful of even asking questions about the words that are in this book. We're afraid of the book. Yeah, we're afraid of the book. So we have to begin to disconnect again, as I say, out of the fear of this thing and realize that that is the inventor of words, not Abraham, nor King James. And so the words of King James can't hold us. It's not supposed to hold us. It has been holding us still, you know. But it's about time we start shake away from some of those words. Because it's words. It's words, and words come out of people's thoughts. So it's thoughts them using to control our thoughts. So you see where the struggle is? At the mental level. At the mental level, and we have to begin to sort ourselves out through understanding the power of these ideologies. So this book of truth tells us that man emerged out of a garden. And out of that garden, or within the garden, there was a lot of struggle. And out of that struggle came forces of good and evil, and man and woman. And African people seem to have been caught up into this impression that Eve becomes the first black mother. This is what we have to believe in now. Because once you accept the Adam and Eve story as a black woman, then you have to tell me that Eve is the first black woman. So what do you think? We want to also question now the woman called Mary. Because in Christian religion, Christian teaching, there are not many important women, you know. Not many important women at all. It's a man thing. But you see this woman called Mary. We're going to look into Mary. Because Mary now is besides being contrary, you don't look at him about Mary quite contrary. How did the belly grow? You know that one? With some silver bells and cockroaches and some things. Well, you see Mary become a central figure in Christendom. And our black women, unconsciously, in searching for a sort of female model, have been locked into Mary. Because here I'm to she bring forth the son. She bring the son now, you know. The son of the Savior. No. So we're going to look into Mary and see who Mary was. Because here was the first thing I want to know. Is it true identity? I want to know what was the race of Mary. What race did Mary belong to? Because that will help me to define race of our son. I think I saw it going, you know. It's look on Bob Marley, you know. You see Bob Marley? Bob Marley mother black like night, you know. Blacker than night, you know. Look, it's like a mixture with the white man why Bob come out that kind of way there, you know. But we see the power of the mother. The blackness of the mother. So I'm saying no, Mary. If Mary was really who she was, eh? Who she was, that you imagine now. This woman, Joseph first of all. What kind of man was Joseph? We don't even know the makeup of Joseph. It was him was a carpenter. We don't know nothing else about Joseph. But Mary then is the foundation, because if out of Mary now come forth Jesus, they were saying there must be some connection between how Mary construct physiologically and racially and how Jesus look. How many of you think Mary was a black woman? Well, you see, in Europe, there is a statue. And it is in almost all European countries. It's a statue of a black mother. And this black mother is called the Black Madonna. You ever hear about the Black Madonna? Yeah. Not the white girl who sing and call her say Madonna, you know. No. We're talking about the Black Madonna. Yeah, this is the statue that represents the Virgin Mary. But guess what happened? She black. Yeah. And it's being worshipped by the very Pope in Rome. And the Black Madonna is all over Europe. In almost every European country, you find images of the Black Madonna. It's only in places like Jamaica and the Caribbean. We don't see nothing about the Black Madonna. Yeah, something wrong. So here I say now, you said all of you who want to worship Jesus, respect his mother first. And if his mother was a black woman, no, say no more. Yes, Metamorphosis.
Africa had great kings and queens, you should know. Search your history, it will show. If you know not from whence you came, you are doomed to live in shame.
Great kings of Africa, rulers all around. They were mighty, brave and strong, tore every barriers down. In Africa, yes I eat. In Africa, oh, yeah. In Africa, yes I eat. In Africa, oh, yeah.
Now let no one fool you. Great was Shaka Zulu. The British army never did see such a fierce warrior as he.
In Africa, yes I eat. In Africa, oh, yeah. In Africa, yes I eat. In Africa, oh, yeah.
Afonso of the Congo region adopt this for his people, the Christian religion. Never bowing to what was paid. Unite this people against the slave trade.
In Africa, yes I eat. In Africa, oh, yeah. In Africa, yes I eat. In Africa, oh, yeah.
Akhenaten, the first man, tell that the God is one. Carve the theology that men could see, that the Almighty was no mystery.
In Africa, yes I eat. In Africa, oh, yeah. In Africa, oh, yeah. In Africa, in Africa, yes I eat. In Africa, oh, yeah. In Africa, yes I eat.
Hey, 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 hey. Calling Africans now, come. Hey. Wanna tell you don't walk, run. Not to rule your own kingdom, yeah.
See Shaka Zulu up on the corner. Iman the down in the area. When the wicked them a lick shot. If the raps get the lick it back. In Africa, yes I eat. In Africa, oh, yeah. In Africa, yeah, yeah. In Africa, well.
Now the King of Kings, Haile Selassie, was invaded by the fascist Mussolini. If the world had listened to this little man, World War II might have never begun.
In Africa, yes I eat. In Africa, oh, yeah. In Africa, yes I eat. In Africa, oh, yeah.
Yes, Africa had great kings and queens, you should know. Search your history, it will show. If you know not from whence you came, you are doomed to live in shame.
Yes, it's in Africa. Whoa, yes, in Africa. Yeah, in Africa. Whoa, yeah.
Hannibal, yes, he was bold. Took his army of elephants through the cold. Through the Alps his army came, confounding enemies, putting them to shame.
In Africa, yes, it's in Africa. Whoa, yeah, in Africa, Africa, Africa. In Africa, whoa, yeah. Yes, it's
Yes.
whoa,
I am ruling.
Africa. Yes,
I am fooling. Do you get my meaning?
Yeah. Africa. Africa. So the stories in the Bible tell us about things happening in Africa, because the Genesis story tells us about the Garden of Eden and the River Gihon and mentions Ethiopia. So that is what connects us now, you know. We see something that is embedded in our genetic memory, Ethiopia. So right away we say, yes, well, this is true. But surrounded by those words are other stories, other arguments, and some of these things are not so true. It is for I and I to make the discernment between what is a fable and what mythology really applies to our liberation. Because we're not arguing that a mythology is true or false necessarily. We're saying in its interpretation, does it liberate you or does it make you a slave? And that we can explore the implications and the moral nuances in these stories. So we keep exploring and we're looking into the Bible for this book of truth. And at the same time, there's an African truth. And African truth seems to supersede the truths that are in the Bible. Because the history of Africa is far, far superior in times. Far, is incomparable to the few thousand years that they give to the Bible. So when we look into ourselves, we're looking into Africa, and we're looking into truth, we have to begin to read the awakening, the book of the awakening, book of coming forth by day and night. We have to begin to read what is called the book of dead, but that's not the real title. But we need to read the Egyptian writings. We need to read and get familiar with the Assyrian legend, Osiris, the importance of Osiris, the importance of Isis, the link between Isis and the Black Madonna. Because the Black Madonna really represents the Black Virgin, the mother of Christ. And the mother of Christ is a black woman. There is no question, there is no doubt about it. The statues of this black woman is all over Europe. The Pope gets up and he kisses the Black Madonna every morning, and he bows down to her, recognizing that she is the mother of creation. It's only the black people, we on the plantation, we didn't get that. We got the image of a white-looking Mary. An image painted by Michelangelo. And so we have this white image of Mary. We have a white image of Jesus. We don't give us any real image of Joseph. And we don't see the angel. So it is for I and I to Africanize and become more conscious in these images. And realize that if you want to hold on to Jesus Christ as your Savior, and you're going to hold on to his mother, who is manifested through by the Creator, then we have to begin to acknowledge that the mother is a black woman. And if the mother is a black woman, then we're saying the son is also a black child. And so Rastafari speaks to the black Christ. Yeah, there must be some racial identity. And we're saying Africa is a place where we find that foundation. Yeah.
Every
so as I segue out of this section, I really want the females to focus a bit on themselves. And in trying to focus on that self, which is beyond the thought, internal, reflect on ISIS, ISIS, and reflect on the Black Madonna, and the connection between these two female forces. That ISIS has the power to reconnect the broken pieces of Osiris. We need to know the Osirian legend. Because that legend is very, very important to reconstructing our mental, psychological African self. We have to reconfigure our Trinity. And in that Trinity, there is mother, father, and child. We have to respect Horus, who is the symbol of the sun. We have to look at Osiris, the father, the first resurrected. We have to look at Isis, mother, wife. We have to also maintain that if you want to hold on to your Christian affiliations and hold on to Christ as the Savior, as we look into this Christmas region, then let us pay some respect to the mother of Christ. And who is it that what they call Jehovah chose to send his son through? Who was this woman? Who was this woman? And what is her claim to fame? That she would be the one to bear the seed of angel. Because angel is a person, you know. Yeah, angel is not something that moves on a wing. Because when all is said and done, fertilization is important to creating beings. And certainly Mary's egg didn't just simply ovulate and find other chromosomes out of nothing. We must become realistic and realize that something happened. Something went there. And so the scripture so gives us in its own metaphorical way. It said, she was visited by the angel. And of course, angel is a name. It's a man. It's a person. It's a person. So we move away some of the mythology about a man being born without sperm. It is not practical in African tradition. It is a fantasy and it's an illusion around life. It's disconnecting from reality to conceive of a child coming into the earth only through the egg of a mother. We know what happened to the egg after, without any connection, you know. It simply comes out as a spot. Metamorphosis in the reality of Christmas, saying it takes procreation for there to be creation.
The whole world is Africa, but it's divided in continent, state, so many cities have no pity. It's in the hills and valleys and plains. Said I want you to know they are from ancient days.
Yeah, so as I come out of this segment now, we also want to convince that the Black Madonna, who is the Black Mary, is an African. Black Madonna. So respecting now the blackness of Jesus, the blackness of the child of Mary. That Mary is an African, and we know she's an African because of the Black Madonna representing the Black Virgin. And when we talk about the Black Virgin, we're not speaking about anything sexual, because the concept of the Virgin is not connected to whether the woman had sex or not. Virgins were a sect, S-E-C-T. Yes, not as S-E-X. It's a sect called the Virgins. And Mary was of that sect. And we know of the sect because we hear of other stories that speak about the 10 virgins. 5 who were wise and 5 who were foolish. So we're under no illusions anymore of this mother of Christ being sexless. It's impossible within African tradition. And because the Black Madonna is the evidence of the Africanicity of Mary, we can reject this notion of Mary having a child without sex, without any sperm. There's no spermless savior. That is part of our problem. We think the savior is sexless and has no feelings. Yeah, we say the savior is the I within. Easing the suffering. We are going to ease the suffering by becoming knowledgeable of the things that we do not understand. That's how we ease the suffering, you know. We kind of just pile up the beliefs, put them in like a barrel, and roll them down the hill. Yes, and we try to replace what we roll away with knowledge. Yes, beliefs are a dime a dozen. Superstitions, religions, not much difference. So who is more powerful, Jesus or Superman? Yeah, who is more powerful? Jesus or Superman? Yeah, Now we explore in the mythologies and the fables. Sometimes they are committed, they're conflated. The fable with the proverb and the myth and the movie. A lot of things are confused. So we ask in this section here now, we're looking at the things that I think are profound to hold us. And we're talking about commandments now and this book of truth that people are telling that they will die over. Yeah, they will give up their life for the book. This book, written by alien forces to the African concept of time and space. So here we have a book that is proclaimed to be the book of truth. And within the context of the truth, we have laws. And we have commandments. And we are told that we have to abide by these laws and commandments to maintain, let us call it, social order. So we have to give instructions, ways that people must behave themselves, because apparently people don't know how to behave. So we have to command them, we have to force them to conform to these laws. So in this book of the Bible, King James, the first lawgiver that we are introduced to is Moses. This is the first man now who's going to lay down laws. And laws, of course, are expressed in words. And these words come from thoughts. But in our imagination on the plantation, we are told that these thoughts now come from God. Yes, these are the thoughts of God. Not the thoughts of Tatino. The thoughts of a God called Jehovah. A God who is considered to be the God of Abraham, and the God of Moses, and God of Noah. Not the God of the Dogons, not the God of the Sand People, not the God of the Pygmies, nor the Twa, but the God of Abraham. Now, I don't come from Abraham lineage, so I don't really have to be part of this God story. So for those who are connected, you have to hold that and begin to try to view yourself if it really makes sense. So we have these commandments now that are going to be given to the people by this man called Moses. And the people who Moses giving the command to is not the Chinese, Nor are there Indian people involved in who are receiving these commandments. These commandments are being given to some people who have been chased out of Africa. Run out of Egypt. Yeah, run them out. And suddenly in the desert, in their delusionary state, they claim that the leader goes onto a mountain and lightning strikes and writes. This is Hollywood at its best now, And lightning writes on the rock. And in that writing is English writing, It never writing in Arabic or some ancient language, It was written in English at a time. What a thingy. So anyway, apparently Moses knew English quite well. But we see on the stone, emblazoned, were some commandments. And these commandments are coming out of the high, from the highest level, from the most high. Right? The God of Abraham, the God of Moses. So these commandments now, according to Moses, were given to him by his creator, the creator, the God of Abraham. And he must now come forward and impose these commandments on a set of people who are rebellious. Because him trick them, tell them, him going to tell them some promised land outside of Africa. And go to Africa, it's wilderness. The same way perhaps we feel as the black people now in this diaspora that we are in a wilderness. That's why we connect so much to the Moses story and the movement of the people outside of Africa. But we must look at it from a different perspective. We are not those people. We are the people who got left in Africa. We stayed in Egypt. The people who left are the people who are problematic in today's world without a home. So we are following this drama of this man going to a mountain and getting these writings. And when we get a chance to read what the first things say, the first commandments, we hear that actually 10 commandments are written. But those who understand African knowledge and have the knowledge of Africa knows that While Moses was living in Egypt, he came upon some of the teachings and the right, not some, he knew all of the philosophy of Egypt. And so he knew about what the Egyptians call the 42 negative confessions. And in those 42 negative confessions came forth, he drew from those to speak about the commandments that he got from the God of Abraham. So the first commandment I want to focus on, the very first commandment given to black people through Moses. What does the first commandment say to us people? And because of the power of word sound, this commandment has been holding us for generations. The first commandment out of the 10, what does it say?
Don't care for vanity. Ooh, yeah. He's got love for humanity. But a whole lot of them in sheep loading. Ooh, yes. Are trying to mix the two dreads in. The mark of the beast is on your forehead, yes, an evil prince upon your face. Oh, it's a big disgrace, yes, how they are mashing up the place. It's Babylon trap them. Yes, Babylon trap them. The old book tell you about them. Oh yes. And this is what it says. They are the generation of vipers who know, and they just can't be blamed, 'cause Babylon trapped them, my brethren. Babylon trapped them. It's true, yeah.
Yeah, so we're looking at the first commandment. The first commandment given by Moses out of the words of God according to Moses is that thou shalt have no other God but me. This is the first commandment. Listen carefully now. And this is a commandment given by the God of Abraham, that thou shalt have no other God but me. Now when we get the ability to explore language, and we look carefully at what this commandment is saying, it is telling us that this God, the God of Abraham, is conscious and recognize that there are other gods. That's the first thing we need to recognize in this first commandment, is that there is a recognition by the God of Moses of other gods. And who are these other gods? Obviously, these are the other gods that have existed long, long before the God of Moses. The gods like Tot, Jeb, Nut, the ancient gods of African goddesses. These gods have always been there. So when the God of Moses tells us via this lightning writing that there is no other God than me that you should have, it is the beginning of, it is foundation of jealousy. It is a foundation of jealousy. And if we understand what the same scripture speaks about, deadly sins, and what the Oriental call the deadly poisons, that there are 7 deadly sins, that there are 7 deadly poisons. And the first of the deadly sins is jealousy. Yeah, jealousy. Because jealousy is the starting point that leads to envy, that leads to wrath, that leads to grudgefulness, that leads to spitefulness, that leads to slothfulness. There are all these lines that follow of behavior that are negative and that are called poisons. But the opening to this can of worms is really jealousy. And so the black population has been told to embrace a God that is supremely jealous. And so if we live the way and adopt the characteristics of this God, it certainly will explain our behavior to each other. The jealousy and the envy and the grudgefulness and the bad-mindedness is all locked up in our teaching. And so this first commandment given unto I and I by Moses, that is hardly ever reflected on or examined, is the starting point of our new world order. It's a new world order. It has to be a world order that centers around black people. And we cannot be afraid to declare that there must be a new black world order, an order that is defined from the position of being black first. Yeah, man, until we get that centrality, until we get that centeredness around our blackness, we will be slaves to other racial groups. Metamorphosis. Who is more powerful, Jesus or Superman? And why are both of them white?
Yes, we're getting stronger, and Babylon I get weaker. Yes, we're stepping up stronger, coming harder, ain't looking back, feeling stronger, ready to launch the attack. Do you remember when we were the cream of the crop? Is the Bible at the carbon we got? They took us away from Africa with an intention to kill our culture, but through the power of the Most High, our mental capacity get wider, coming harder, ain't looking back, feeling stronger, ready to launch the attack. Do you remember when we were the cream of the crop? They stole our Bible at the carbon we got. This is the time to live as his one. Help your brother man from out of the slum. It's no crime if blood that we run. To liberate yourself, you have to eliminate some. Coming harder, ain't looking back, feeling stronger, ready to launch the attack. Do you remember when we were the cream of the crop? They stole our Bible at the carbon we got. Emancipate your mind from slavery. I know one day Jah will set us free. Some have been brainwashed, got tricked easily, forget all their friends and their family. Coming harder, ain't looking back, feeling stronger, ready to launch the attack. Do you remember when we were the cream of the crop? They stole our Bible at the carbon we got. They took us away from Africa with an intention to kill our culture, but through the power of the Most High, our mental capacity get wider. Emancipate your mind from slavery. I know one day Jah will set us free. Some have been brainwashed, got tricked easily, forget all their friends and their family. Coming harder, ain't looking back, feeling stronger, ready to launch the attack. Do you remember when we were the cream of the crop? They stole our Bible and the carbon we got. This is the time to live as his one. Help your brother man from out of the slum. It's no crime if blood that we run. To liberate yourself, you have to eliminate some. Coming harder, ain't looking back, feeling stronger, ready to launch.
Yeah, so we work towards the liberation of the force that is way beyond thought internally. We have to see what is it that holds us in check. How is it we have been emancipated from the plantation, yet we are still behaving like chattel? How is it we can't get rid of the plantation behavior? What has changed? Are we still on the plantation, but we are under a greater delusion because we now have a little bit of access to travel? That we can move around in a greater format, not recognizing that the plantation has simply expanded. You can now have a visa on the plantation. In 1838, you couldn't move because we were chained. Now that we have factories all over the world and the slaves can move to the factories, you have to give them access to move. How else do you get the slaves in the factories unless they can now move? And so the thing has made a change. It's for us now to make a change to counteract that type of change that maintains our mental and economic slave condition. So it's all about word sound, understanding power, understanding the importance of language, and in this segment here, looking at the myths and the fables and the rhymes and the various devices of language that have contributed to holding us in the same position. So we have heroes and we have comic strips. We have comic heroes. And in these comic heroes, they're not so different from the biblical heroes. Because we have a hero like Samson, that Samson's supposed to be the strongest man. And he broke the jawbone, kill a lion with him hand and break certain strengths and powers. And right away, we are connecting white supremacy to the imagery that is projected in these stories. So Jesus is the second great lawgiver next to Moses in Western culture. And it is Jesus and Moses that has controlled this plantation. In the same way the church and the state controls it in a practical level, at the level of religion and theology, it is Moses and Jesus that rules the mind. More so Jesus, because Jesus is more in a greater control of the women. It is the women now that Jesus has been positioned to be in control. Because if you control the women, you control the family. And in this notion of Jesus now, they have forced Jesus into the black family. That Jesus has now usurped the black man and has become the head of his house. I don't see Jesus being the head of the house in the white man family, nor the Chinese. There's no space for Jesus in the Chinese family. They must run him out. But in the house of black people, we have this imagery of this white man with long hair. We don't have a black concept of Jesus because we don't see his mother as the African. So it would be even more positive in our lives if the imagery of Jesus in our house was that of the image of the mother, the black Madonna, and therefore the black Christ. But no, we have been forced to accept this blue-eyed, long-haired character with straight nose and thin lips. And it is this imagery now that comes into the black family and moves between the black man and the black woman and takes away the power of the black male. And the woman gives power to this imagery because he is considered to be perfect. And now the husband becomes imperfect because he has other women who love him. And because he moves towards his women, he's weak. But no, Jesus don't have no woman at all. So they think he's strong. What a thing. We need to set our house together. And in order to resurrect black family house, we have to remove the false head. We have to get Jesus out of the black household.
Striving for better, and we're not gonna stop till the battle is won and we get justice. Cause if you lose your stand, anyone will try to push you over and over. Lift up your head and hold it up high. We know that we'll win the prize. Lift up your head and hold it up high. We know that we'll win the prize. Don't be discouraged by the pitfalls and their worries. Pain endure for one night, but joy cometh in the morning. And if you lose your soul, there's nothing to gain.
Stylz on the go. You know, it's up again, you know. Stylz on the go. That means the people in the USA, you can link Stylz by calling 832-280-0686. That's all our listeners in the North American section of the plantation. 832-280-0686. And for the people in the UK, that's other section. The number is 442-0709-70371. I run it again. All our Stylz listeners and all the people who are impressed and connected to this great station. You're living in the UK, link us at 442-0709-70371. And to the people closer, right here in the edge of the Jamaican space, North America, Florida, Canada, well, USA generally. 832-280-0686. Stylz on the go. It is up and running again. Post Sunday movements.
We're not gonna stop till the battle is won and we get justice. Cause if you lose control, they'll send someone.
Then I also hail up Patrick in Norwich Heights and my brethren Dirks over there in Passy Gardens. I don't see the item for a while, but who to tell? One Saturday morning, that's all. Alright.
We know that we'll win the prize. Lift up your head and hold it up high. We know that we'll win the prize.
Hail up to all the people in Florida.
Lift up your head and hold it
and hail to Splash out there in New Jersey. Splash, splash, splash. Stylz FM. Yeah, the theme song for news, Afrocentric views on news, and of the eel, Cassidy, so fly, for finding this rendition. Yes, it's crucial and it's clean. Yeah, we're into the news now, and you know, two things. At the higher international level, we see the North Koreans have fired another rocket, and there's gotten bells ringing in Washington and in the European capitals. And the Koreans are always just on the edge, waiting to create all sorts of drama for the United States. And at the same time, the United States don't mind, because the United States using this as a pretext now to get into that Southeast Asia and to challenge China from an even closer position. So all that is going on is a high stakes politics. It's about control of the world economy, and it's about the battle for territory. What we find in this particular battle is that the Americans, really the Europeans and the white people in general, have organized themselves to fight against the people who are not white. Not just black people, no, you know. They are now fighting also against the people who they call are yellow. So the yellow-skinned people are under threat by an organized set of white forces. And when I say white, it's really a political ideology called whiteness, because the people are really Caucasians. But they've organized themselves around a political ideology called whiteness. And with that ideology now, they go out and they try to conquer other persons and other places. So the North Koreans, of course, they are not white. And they are maintaining that they have their own sovereignty. They're going to have their own nuclear weapons. And like the Iranians, who are not considered white also, these countries are insisting that they have the moral authority to have their own weapons. So that is a part of the struggle. Whose will rule? And we're looking at it from a distance here in Jamaica and realize that it's not about anything about morality. It's nothing about God and devil, nothing spiritual. It's military and it's economic. And those are the powers I and I must begin to move towards. We don't need any more spiritual power, you know. So what we need is economic power. Economic, political, and military power. These are the forces that really govern Earth. And we here on the plantation, in order to transform the plantation into a place that we can really live, we must begin to think about accessing ourselves to these levels of power. Economic, political, and military. That is what really runs the world. And we don't have to look too far to see. But what we see also in the world is that white supremacy is a unified force. And it is there to maintain itself. And so black people are afraid to develop their own black supremacy ideology, because the idea is that we're going to be just like them. But that's not really true. That we have never really been like white people. The only way we want to be like them, we want to get ourselves organized. Yes, we want to be organized. And once we are organized, then we can speak about being unified in our objectives. So we're looking out to the real world, and we see places like Israel, who are heavily supported by the Western world. They have their nuclear weapons, yet they can tell the Iranians that they shouldn't have it. It's all about white supremacy. And His Majesty tells us, until this supremacy of racial ideology is broken down, there will always be war. The war on terror. This thing was created by the Bush regime. Everybody remember that? War on terror. We don't hear about it anymore. The media don't use the word anymore. But you see in America, America just breed a little baby terrorists. Yeah, the war on terror has breed a little baby terrorists in America. And that baby terrorists explode in Connecticut and mow down a whole set of little children. Mother first, well-trained, video games. This is a result of the war on terror. So because the media stopped talking about it, the impression is that the war on terror is over. I am saying we are just going to begin to reap some of the residue in humankind. Yes, in the minds of children who have been programmed to enjoy war and see ghastly deaths and have visions at nights and games. You talk about generation of vipers. Here comes the generation of terrorists. Well made in the USA.
There is peace, and in the abundance of peace there is war. No one wondering why they are so close and yet they are so far. Morgan's heritage and to a rebel. There is.
People are fighting, fighting one another. And they fight for selfish reasons, just to be a part of the season.
And that's not right.
People are fighting, fighting one another. And they fight for selfish reasons, just to be a part of the season. Oh, guys. Some say they're walking your holy way, but in their heart lies the blood of violence. Help them, oh God, I pray.
I'm praying for them as well.
Hail up Teresa and Teddy. Yeah man, let's go on listening to the Metamorphosis. And hail up to all of the persons who are connected to that school on the hill in Port Antonio, over 200 years old. It's the same one. We want to know what's happening with the principal. Officially, we want to know.
Blood of violence price on their shoulders. I know soon they'll surely pay. Boys, people are fighting,
And we don't know why.
fighting one another.
That's so light.
They fight for selfish reasons, just to be a part of the season. Oh, guys, people are fighting
For no reason at all.
fighting one another.
Them I go
And they fight for selfish reasons, just to be a part of the season.
Alright, not until the system provides some justice, equal rights and love it up in practice. We are gonna witness our live for madness and that the thing now profit.
Some say there's no God to judge their way.
Some
How
80s now.
foolish they be to live like this, content with their evil way.
And anytime just try to one of them pray.
And I know
Certainly that baby terrorist has no knowledge of Jah. Yeah, that baby terrorist has no knowledge of the I that is within. War and terror, them call it.
seeds of humanity. Why can't we love each man equally? No matter the race, color, or creed.
Hail up that guy over there in Japan, all the soldiers.
Mirror, I say,
Here are the soldiers in Indiana, that child. Hail up to the eye and the king man.
let him come judge me while I ask, what is this world coming to?
You tell me.
Oh, Jah, guide us through war and violence at its peak. Protect us, Jah, please, through we day.
So quick to judge our brothers wrong. Still can't find no wrong for so long. Won't stand.
Yeah, Jah is the eye within.
Surrounded by robbers and thieves, murderers with no mercy. A world of sin is what we're living in.
What is this world coming to?
This world.
Oh, Jah, guide us through war and violence at its peak. Protect us, Jah, please. Oh, God. What is this world coming to? Jah, Jah, guide us through
God's truth.
war and violence at its peak. Protect us, Jah, please.
Yeah, we're calling upon the self. Yeah, we want to call upon the self, the depth of the self, to come forward, that we can be more organized as a people. Organization is what we need before we can think about unity. We must be organized. And we need to be organized by beginning to be organized within ourselves. We have to organize ourselves first. But we have to know that the self is this tremendous force. And the self is at the center of the universe that is within. The universe that is within is boundless. It is vast. It is a reflection of what is outside. So the outside universe is a reflection of what is internal. That's why they say the beauty is within. It's a reflection of what is within that we see outside. But to understand the reflector, the center of the reflection, is really the I. And it is the I that is the creator. It is the I that expresses itself through word. Yes, it is I that is Jah.
Won't stand till peace obtains the land. Oh Lord, yeah. Surrounded by robbers. I defend the down first is a must. You don't need a iron eye fight nor fuss. Cause everything them say them rightful own belong to us. My father don't tell I and I everything shall fall to I and I is a must. So Babylon set the liberty every day another one bite the dust. My Lord, you don't have to say you're sorry.
Hello, Pablo. Yes, Mr. Griffith.
You don't have to say you're sorry.
Hail up to Peter Ray and the community of Harbour View, Rocky Park. Yes, man, I'm tuning in. Give thanks.
I don't wanna sad story. Cause the damage.
And to the people in St. Thomas, Golden Grove, Hampton Court. Yes, Metamorphosis is here for the eye, and the eye, and the eye.
Everybody wants their peace of mind, trying to justify how they deal with mankind. Sometimes I wonder how they sleep at night time when all the damage already done. All the damage already done. Stop and listen a while. So meditation style, going straight to your mind, through your wicked and wild. Only way you can deal with these vibes is to free up your soul and mind. Ayaga, yaga, 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 yo. You don't have to say you're sorry for all the wrongs that you have.
Stylz FM 96.1.
How wonderful it is. And I'm
While I'm violin, please.
sing along.
Oh, reggae music, please. Oh, so.
Get that jam, make me hear it sound.
Get the drum and make we one don't go.
Get that jam, make me hear it sound.
Shake it tambourine and make it go all frown.
Get that jam, make me hear it sound.
Me make them a go do fi move Bob Marley crown.
Get that jam, make me hear it rebound.
The music where we love and another fi we hold. When the music hits, brother, you feel no pain,
No pain at all.
But all you do is verbalize your body and your heart, your mind, and it memorize your brain. But
again.
when the man a chant, determine a chant. For the youth them down the lane, go they do it. Put down the gun and I'll stop lift out to you. Them brain fan the lane in vain. So they do it. Well, this is not a shame, it is not the same. Cause the youth them change. So they do it. Them not read again and not take not part in a reggae rule the youth them brain. So you miss it.
Get that jam, make me hear it sound.
So if you get a jam and make we run down home.
Get that jam, make me hear it sound.
Shake it tambourine and make the vocals
And
run.
again, get that jam, make me hear it sound.
Them a go try move up Marley crown.
Get that jam, make me hear it rebound.
Yeah, the music where we love and another feel.
Music is well painful and it's still a painkiller.
Yeah.
Me not be stopped to
Yeah.
music. Forever time, me not be so. Be a music inventor. I'm the originator and I stay.
Rastafari chanting.
We teach the people them from all over
It
because
is a solution, you know. Part of the solution, the rest in the music.
and the people still sweet.
Oh, they do it.
A wonderful treat. Yes, we have to do it. People rock
Yeah, I think part of the solution rests in the music. But in the way the music is going today, it leaves much to question. You see, some people think that the music should have a message. And the others now have the view that it don't matter whether the music has a message or not. Well, the music that are messageless, it's hard to fit that into what we call foundation Rasta reggae music. Because the foundation of Rasta reggae music is the message. So once you put in out music that lacks that philosophical message, you can call it anything, even dance hall. Because what we're creating now as dance hall lacks philosophical messages. And the messages that they carry are not philosophical but very frivolous. They do carry a message, but it's not profound and changing to the extent that an individual will become more conscious of their racial history and their identities and begin to think more like a people. So we're having an issue now with the whole context of the lyrics. And is it a reality that the artists are giving the people what they want? And what is it that the people want? What is it that informs the people to help them decide what is it they want? And if we keep playing to this, giving the people what they want, and if the people say they want rubbish, so is it that the artist must simply produce rubbish because the people want rubbish? There must be at some point the artist must begin to think. Yeah, use up that brain that our guest last week told us that they use more than us. Because we had a female here, and the female was letting us know that they are thinkers. We want our artists, the male one, them to begin to think. And in that thinking, you may realize that the importance of what you are doing is to help to shape lives, give people perceptions and hope. So the lyrics are crucial. And dancehall thing now, not going abroad, because the people abroad can't even hear what the man them saying. There's no message of upliftment. There's no message of hope. So the dancehall is simply becoming a simple Jamaican phenomenon that's going to wear out. So the reggae music is out in the real world. Dancehall is here, but the dancehall is like fast food. Yes, like fast food. You remember weeks ago the phrase was sell off? Sell off, wear off. It turned turn up. And turn up when moved to something else in 2013. Like fast food. No stability.
Time is getting harder and harder, more and more each day. Still I am determined that I'm never gonna change my way. Thinking out loud the way it should be. You gotta open your eyes and you will see that I'm the way it should be. You gotta make up your mind and you'll advance humanity. Humanity. Oh, what happened to the love that they are all talking about? It's nothing but useless words coming from out of their mouths, talking out loud the way it should be. We gotta open our eyes and we will see it out loud the way it should be. We gotta make up our minds and we'll advance humanity.
Yeah, in this section of the Metamorphosis now, I want to share with my listeners an experience I had on Tuesday. Tuesday, I had an opportunity to go to what is called a PhD Viva, a Viva. It's a defense. It's a settings where a person must actually do an oral defense of their thesis, what they're presented as their document to define whether they can be qualified to be a doctor. Not a medical doctor, but a doctor of letters in the education system. Now, on Tuesday, I went to the University of West Indies, Mona campus. And for me, I haven't been there for about a year and a half. So I took a break to free up myself to do some other things. But my brethren here, a brethren called Winston was finally at the stage where he had to defend his doctoral thesis. And for persons who have never been to something like that, I tell you, it is nerve-wracking, stressful, because look at it this way. You have been working to secure this degree for a number of years. Most persons is 5 years, some people is 10, some people are 15 years. This PhD thing now is considered a third degree. The first degree is a bachelor's, And your second degree is your master's, and the third degree is a doctorate. Now, this youth here now, I feel so great that I had to be at this defense. Because the defense is like the World Cup match, you know. It's like all of your years of research, you have to come now and to demonstrate practically that you are the author and that you can answer any question anybody asks you about the work, even a member of the public. So when you're doing a PhD defense, it has to be announced publicly, you know. In other words, anybody from the street can just come in, sit down, and when the questions are over, ask your question, and you have to answer properly. What this youth did now, first of all, this youth is from Jonestown. Jonestown. Tenement yard settings. His father was at the defense. And his father is 50 years old. And this young man getting his doctorate is 30 years old. Now this is remarkable to get a PhD at age 30. It is more remarkable we understand the life history of this youth here now. Because a couple of evenings, I used to travel home with him a couple of evenings in his early life at the campus. And he had to come off the bus at certain stops to skip through certain neighborhoods to escape certain gunfights and jump some fence and all sorts of difficulties to get to even the second degree. So for me, it was a great pleasure to go to the university and look at hear Winston defend his thesis. It was about Kingston and the former Christian worship spaces. It was called An Exploration of Hierarchies and Aesthetic Distinctiveness. Whole heap of big words for the university. But with the way the brethren deal with it, I felt as though I was doing my defense again. And I realized that the thing hard. It's hard. Because it's years of study, and the people them who question you coming out, them want to flap you. Yeah. But the brethren defended his arguments positively. It made me feel good to know that it don't matter sometimes the circumstance that you come from, it's really where you end up. And it's about your willpower. It's about how you organize your time. It's about what you think is important at a certain time now. At 30 years old, with a PhD, Winston can party now. Him can go enough party, but he was under self-discipline to get to that point. Knowing that parties and girls and certain things will never come to an end. It's about focusing on the objective and achieving the goals, knowing that other things will still be out there. So I have wheeled up Dr. Winston Campbell, alias Preke. Hail Dr. Preke. I'm going to tell you, I feel like I run the race with you, and I win, and I'm encouraging more youths to recognize that we can achieve certain standards of our education that will help us to liberate our other brethren out of this plantocracy. So we say, give thanks for stamina. And to Mr. Campbell at 50 years old, what they show me? That you had a son when you were 20. And now that you're 50, your son is a doctor at 30. So it's who are going like a man not responsible and man careless. We have evidence that man will stand up and steer a man-child son to a high level. It's going on right at Stylz, you know. Same thing going on. Yeah, Metamorphosis.
I've got to sing about the ghetto. Now in the place where the vocals I know. How we go. About in the ghetto where I go. And I know. Oh, I live my life down in the ghetto. There is nothing but just strife in the ghetto. I know how we go. about in the ghetto where I go. I gotta sing it like I know, and I know. The same way it goes. I gotta sing about the ghetto.
Yeah, to the people in Berrydale. Danny Bar, you lock into the Metamorphosis. Just drink and smoke responsibly. Heel of the Springbank. Barry, heel. People in New Jersey, all Jerseyites, Splash is the site. Splash and Stylz taking it to the world through the Metamorphosis. Dr. Iman Blak, of course, as the host.
So when you rock out to 3 miles, straight up to Tower, in Kingston 11, Jaja know, don't get no.
Yeah, I'll give you some different kind of tune in the Metamorphosis as we wind it down.
Stylz FM 96.1.
Junior Delgado. Now, prisoners, all those in captivity who are here in the Metamorphosis, make the change within so you can get out. Yeah, make that change. I'm on a GP, all women in remand and captivity. Metamorphosis means change, and the change begins with the eye, within. More Junior Delgado.
Come tell me. Well, this one is a bombshell. Why won't you come home and tell me that you love me tonight? Why won't you please tell me, baby?
Original Shabba. Shabba and Maxi Priest. Yeah, Alpha and Omega. Here it is coming in through Ziggy.
Like the sun rising over the mountain top. Love is like the morning dew. Now let me tell you this, my love is always new, girl. So I'm giving it to you, yes you. But while you play around,
Yeah, this segment here now, I just want to reflect on my guest last program, the diva, Natasha, who told us a lot of things that we weren't so sure about ourselves and the whole aspect of the female. We didn't get into the talk about love. But I really wanted to say and wonder aloud if we can never have love without economics. Can we actually claim that we love a person when there is no economics involved? And we ask that question because in these times, we have to question the nature of love. Maybe 50 years ago, 60 years ago, love was something that was spirit-driven. What we call spirit tech. And we held together until death. Now it's an assessment. And because the woman is always thinking, as we were told by the diva, and always strategizing, certainly she must take our economic situation into consideration. So when she look at her, as a man, it seems as if the look goes beyond what I have into what I could potentially have in terms of wealth and security, because security is another important part of this love thing. And can you have security without economics? So my brethren years ago tell me say L-O-V-E is love, but the E at the love is the starting of E-C-O-N-O-M-I-C-S. So there's economics connected to love. What we need to work out as a people now is if what happens when the economics is low? How do we maintain our unity as a gendered peer? How do we hold our families together when the economics is not so strong? So it means we have a vision beyond just ourselves. We begin to see almost into the next generation. We begin to see posterity. So it's vital now in black relations, this whether the man and woman who's in charge, who's not in charge, that we begin to focus more on the offspring. The creation of our love. I even wonder about the phrase, make love. Because nobody can really make love. I think you experience it. What you make is babies. And oftentimes we're confused about making love and making babies. And when we make love and the baby come, everybody run away. Because the baby wasn't part of the plan. It's love and the sinner was making. But you can't make love. That's a European version of love. It's something you make. The Africans don't make love, We just be in love. We just love as a state of being. So when we get to that state of love, we don't have to make it or fall into it. Because you see, when you fall into love, it's a rough thing to get up and come out, Yeah, if you fall in. But if you stand up in love, you're in a better position, So making love, we could dismiss that because it's really babies we're making. And we're not really responsible for the babies when we're done because we were all about having fun. So the language have to change. And the male and the female have to begin to reassess themselves because you see the children, the offspring, is the problematic when it's not solved from before. In other words, now we have to start beginning to think about what we're doing before we do it. So the whole sexual activity, we have to begin to put some thought into it now. It cannot be all driven by emotion. Because when the emotions wear off and the reality faces us and the economics of the making of the love come together, everybody wants to run. So make us think it out as a people. Make us be more conscious about how we fling our seed around as man and how we open up our legs as women. Make us be more balanced and think it out. More thoughts. Who know that tune? Who know this tune?
She's gonna marry me. I know a girl. She's gonna marry me. She's gonna marry me. Someday come. She's gonna marry me. Just wait and see. When the night is drawing me in. He says he will share with paradise without no more. And tears are drawn to start to flow.
Lepke, this one is for you, Lepke. Yes, I was saying, as we approach this Christmas and end of the year, let us try to make things better at the relationship level. First objective, be at peace with thyself. First objective, get beyond the word and the thought that's at the center of the being. Get at one with thyself. And the next stage is get in a organized, unified way with your mate, spouse, wife, husband, partner. We could try to build the relation at the gender level first. Because if there's no unity at the gender, we cannot organize as a race. That may I say, we need unity at the level of the gender. Let us unite the left side of the brain with the right side of the brain. Yeah, male and female. Oneness going into 2030.
Want to incarcerate me, always pressuring me, but to judge I'm free. Want to crucify me, want to incarcerate me, always pressuring me, but to judge I'm free.
is Hail Rastafari. Yes. The teachings of His Imperial Majesty and the philosophy of Marcus Garvey will take us out to 2013.
I told him about the way we're being brutalized by mental slavery and unjust authority. I also asked him, have you not heard that right? He said, yes, my son. It's all just a matter of time.
Hail up to all the Toronto Massive, Ontario, Toronto, all the people of Canada. Canada.
The king said, here I come. I'm coming for my children. Here I come to conquer the dragon. Here I come to fire on the heathen. Here I come.
And to the people in Australia. Yes, my virgin was there on the Stylz FM, big in Australia. Hey, what a team. Down under.
Here I come to fire on the heathen. Here I come. Here I come. Standing in the presence of the King of Glory.
Well, this one is a bombshell.
Upon his face, he revealed his words to my mind. For he is so holy in all his righteousness.
Yes, Jamaica.
When he uttered his words unto me, fear took hold on me. He said, go my son and tell the world, lead them to let my people go. For I'm coming with the judgment to judge the whole entire world. He said, I'm coming to liberate.
Yeah, Metamorphosis, winding down another edition of exploration, of searching, identifying, uplifting, liberating.
I stand strong in a Babylon. I stand strong.
Yeah, it is the I that has to stand strong in these I walk.
I stand strong in a Babylon. I stand strong in a Babylon. I didn't do no wrong. I didn't do no wrong.
On the hill of Sankofa, out in St. Thomas.
I didn't do no wrong.
And to all the listeners on Titchfield Hill, Sir D, long time I don't see the
I
eye.
didn't do no wrong.
Last man Tilly,
His
Django,
Majesty, Big Marcus Garvey, His
Lancey,
Majesty,
Shatover.
Big Martin Luther King.
And of course, all online listeners and
I
viewers.
stand strong.
Yes, the Metamorphosis, global, just through the eye, them out there in cyber.
I stand strong in a Babylon. I stand strong in a Babylon.
Those who celebrate the Christ Mass,
I am the master.
just be
of my
conscious of the Black Trinity,
I am the captain of my
Horus,
soul.
Isis, and Osiris.
I am the master of my
And the Black Madonna, the African Virgin Mary.
His Majesty,
Of course, His Majesty,
Big Marcus
Marcus Garvey, our gods and goddesses of creation.
Big Martin Luther King. I stand strong.
So on all ones and ones, hold the faith that is within, the consciousness that is the I.
I stand
It is eternal.
in a Babylon. I
It has always been here, like thought, self-created, no beginning, no end. The power of the I. Metamorphosis, giving thanks for being here again. And to know that the ones and ones out there are going through that their own changes, raising their levels of awareness, consciousness, and economic status. Because we all need the enum in our pockets. Peace and prosperity. Hold on to your money till January. Let us keep some more partners. We want to start throw more partner amongst ourselves and save money. Yeah, we want some partners where we can collect money every 2 months. A man know we made a lump sum and we can do something with it. I've become more indigenous in our economic adventures. So prosperity in the season, slow with the rum, slow with everything. Just slow down. Because the world will keep on turning. Iman Blak saying peace. Iman Blak out.
What stop? The God.